fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? No, but their friendship will echo through the ages. Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandingo the Soaked. In real life, I write a bunch of different stuff, including Bubba the Monster Hunter, the newest release. Blood, Sweat, and Tears is coming out tomorrow. So, pause this recording, go pre-order that shit, then come back and listen to the rest of this. I also write the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series and the Black Knight Chronicles, and I run this little publishing company you might hear of once in a while.
Hey everybody, I'm Joseph Brassie. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad books. My novels Skyfarer and Dragon Road are available now from Angry Robot Books and everywhere books are sold. And I'm the author of such non-existent titles as Gelatinous Lube, the story of one very, very disturbing dungeon delving.
Hey everyone, I'm Rick Waltery, and I'm playing Silas Drain, the currently very wet but still terrible paladin. In real life, I write several things, but my newest release, Carnage à Trois, Bill of the Dead 3, is out there right now. And in a few weeks, near the end of July, you'll be able to pick up Half-Hearted Hunter, which is False Icons 3. So go check that stuff out.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevin. I play the role of Klaus Richter, Notorious Rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures. I also write many of the Shingles titles. Yeah, go get those.
Hi there, I'm Steve Weverill and I play Brandon Frymaster, definitely a boat guy. In real life, I write such books as the Doomsayer Journeys with Falstaff Books, the latest of which, The Endless Adventures of Hand and Strike, is available now. I also write a couple of the Shingles titles, the latest of which is Silent but Deadly Hill. Go check that out.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, the Dungeon Master, and in a way the one who's been waving at them all through this battle. I also write books such as NPCs, Fred the Vampire Accountant, the latest of which, Out of House and Home, is available right now in ebook and print and will be out on audiobook on August 31st. And when last we left our intrepid adventurers, they were getting a little bit smacked around by the ocean and some tentacles that had risen up from said ocean. But they had still held on. They were putting forth the battle, and now their hope rests on, let's see, Silas Kane. You're up in initiative.
Here's the swimming with bow-legged heretics. All right. Well, I will shoot two sharpshooter arrows at this tentacle.
Mr. Flopsy.
All right. So a 22 and a 17.
Okay, and you have sharpshooter, so you can ignore cover, so no disadvantage. Yeah, you will hit with both.
So then that will be 25 and 24 damage.
Yes. All right, you fire 2 arrows into the tentacle, and it whips and undulates and thrashes and seems generally not happy. Not happy at all. Fandingo!
So, I look up over the lip of the stairwell, and I'm reminded of many, many drawings I've seen that are similar to this and yet slightly different. There are tentacles. And I cast a fireball at the one that Silas just shot.
Let's see. Just gotta find the save. I know
Dex.
that's dexterity, but what's the DC?
My spell save DC is 16.
Alright, 14. Takes full damage.
Alright, that's gonna be 8d6. 24.
Everybody roll me dexterity saves.
Everybody within 10 feet of me is everybody but Fandingo gets a +3.
The DC on this one is 12, FYI.
Alright, Fandingo gets a 14.
Silas gets a 13.
Brandon Frymaster gets a 13.
Klaus gets a 19.
Bjorg gets a, with the +3, he gets a 15.
Okay. So it sounds like everybody passed, meaning you are all coated in blood, but the seared chunks of octopus or tentacle or whatever that come bursting forth as Fandingo lets loose an absolute shitload of damage on a very heavily injured tentacle that just causes it to full-on fucking explode.
Deep fried calamari.
So, who ordered the sushi?
We don't have these flavors in the north.
You all, somehow you're so used to this sort of horror show that you're like, viscera's exploded. I'll need to stick to the blood.
Raining flesh again, I see.
Well, at least it's not cum this time.
Not yet.
And then I'll use my movement action to duck
God.
back down in the stairwell.
Alrighty.
It's raining men, hallelujah.
You.
Brandon Thighmaster.
Okay, we seem to be making alright progress on the tentacles. How's the boat looking? How's the storm looking?
Still stormy. Your boat is moving forward. Slowly it's being rocked and knocked. But you are, y'all never lowered the sails or anything, so you are pressing onward.
Well, that's encouraging. As long as nothing's immediately breaking. Well, I got shit for range attacks, so I guess I'm just going to call dodge and wait maybe to see if I can do something when this tentacle neck slaps down.
I mean, you could run across the water and punch it.
I could, but that seems, I don't know.
Dangerous.
That seems like a good way to get left behind in the ocean while the boat sails away. You know what? Fuck it, I'm faster than a boat. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to run up to that tentacle and punch it.
You must learn about this creature.
It's true.
That's a good point. Do you have an insatiable curiosity for punching things? Alright, I'll give it a love tap. And I will use my... how does my monk ability work again? Do I have to look that up? I probably do.
I think we did it as a knowledge nature check whenever you punch something new for the first time, if it was a beast.
Okay. Well, I think a 26 probably lands to punch.
Of 26 will land the punch. I think we can spare me the time of double checking that AC. You want to give me nature check?
Sure. 7 bludgeon damage and knowledge nature is... I thought this was a wisdom thing. Well, it's a 15 anyway.
From your strike, you can tell that this is not the tentacle of a beast, so you don't... Your full knowledge doesn't activate, but you do get a little bit of a sense of it. And the sense you get is that this is only the barest tip.
Oh dear.
You feel the reverberation go way deep into the ocean and spread out across a lot of mass.
Guys, this is just a tip.
That's what she said.
Oh no!
It's attacking with its pubes.
We've been around Klaus long enough that we know how dangerous a tip can be.
It's sea clouds!
The Klaus of the ocean!
I don't think these stairs go far enough down.
Okay, well this leaves me standing in the middle of the ocean with something huge and terrifying beneath us.
You're not gonna run back. That is unfortunate because your water walking ability only works while you are moving.
I'm a very competent
So as you end your turn, you splash directly into the water.
Where the horror is.
Yep.
Don't worry, Brandon. I'm sure we will piss this thing off even more.
Yeah, there's no way it stays submerged for long.
Speaking of, Klaus.
Hello, friends.
We did that part already.
Yes. I would like to sharpshooter the tentacle.
Alrighty, and you also have the sharpshooter feat, so I believe you can ignore the cover of the rainstorm.
Alright, that's a -5, correct?
Yes.
Alright, so that is a 15.
That will miss.
Alright, well, cool.
Alright, next up it is wave and tentacle time. So we'll do the waves first. Let's see what we're doing. Evens from the left, odds from the right. Evens from the left. Okay, so that is everybody, except for Brandon, who's already in the drink.
Klaus gets a 20.
You get a 23.
23.
Silas gets a 20.
Bjorg rolls a 6.
And Fandingo, if you are talking about your natural one, you're muted and we can't hear you.
I was totally talking about my natural one, and I rolled a 20 to confirm the suck.
All right. Yeah, you are okay. So we'll do the D8 to see which direction y'all are pushed. You both take 1 damage as you are bashed down by the waves. And you go... All right, up is 1, and then we just go counterclockwise. 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Fandingo, you are pushed 5 feet south, as is Bjorg. Now then, tentacle time.
How do we deal with the fact that I'm crouched in the stairwell?
You are crouched in the stairwell. Never mind, Fandingo. Ignore all that. I thought you were up on deck, but you are down below, so the waves do not affect you.
I'll take that hit point back.
Yes, you should.
Because I'm going to need it later, I figure.
Let's see. Perception.
Why attack those of us in the boat when you have a perfectly good monk to drag to the depths?
I was about to say, yeah.
It's a question of if it notices. Oh boy.
Yeah, pretty sure it noticed.
Oh wow. Well, at least that was the perception check and not the attack.
Oh dear.
It's a bonus.
All right. Well, it is definitely going to attack you, Brandon Thymester. And I'm going to say it has advantage in this situation.
About to say, at least I dodged a wave.
Try holding your breath.
All right. Well, a 26 is going to hit you.
That's right. Geez, 16 damage.
So 16 damage and a DC 12 strength save. I guess it won't be dragging you off the boat. It'll just be dragging you down. So be a great time to make. This would be a good one to make the strength save.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad at being dragged off the boat. That sounds worse. Oof, and I did not make the DC. Rolled a 12.
You did.
Oh, right.
Yay.
DC is 12.
Excellent. I totally made that strength save. Easy.
Totally a boat guy.
You get slapped momentarily underwater and it tries to wind around you and you just barely ripple your muscles and burst free.
Like a dolphin.
Fortunately, all that oil is waterproof.
All right, Bjorg.
Okay, so there's no tentacle near me.
I mean, technically speaking, there's a lot of roasted tentacle near you.
Bjork is going to move up here in front of Klaus, close to the edge of the deck to try and, like... Is there any rope nearby?
No, it's a magic boat, so I don't think y'all just have random stuff lying around. It's all kind of used as it needs to be.
Okay, well, I believe I have 50 feet of rope.
That I'm sure you do.
Bjork is going to throw a rope to Brandon.
Okay, roll me we'll just make it a strength, just to make sure you can toss it against the wind and the waves and everything.
That's a 19.
Oh yeah, you absolutely can chunk that thing the end far enough that Brandon would be able to grab it on his turn.
And I can't declare dodge, though, now that I've done that, right?
No, that is definitely your action.
I mean, that's a nice gesture and all, but I'm pretty sure with the mariner feat and my monk abilities, I can just flip her back onto the boat.
Well, it was something to do, because everything's out of melee range.
Just bring the rope with you and like hand it to Bjork. You drop this.
I'm not saying like, having a rope might be handy yet, just maybe not for me.
Yeah. I mean, he's not the only one who could get pulled over, but before that happens, Silas Kane. What's it going to be?
All right, I'm going to move up here next to Bjorg, because, I don't want to be outdone in the face of evil, and yes, obviously this tentacle is evil. And I'm going to shoot twice with sharpshooter, and if any of them hit, I will unleash a divine smite. Same as last time, a 20 and a 17.
Those will both hit.
So the first one does 14 plus 13 radiant, so 27 total. And the second one does 21.
All right, you fire 2 arrows into the tentacle. Fandingo.
All right, I'll put my head up. Does this tentacle look as fucked up as the last one did before I threw a fireball at it?
No.
All right. I'm going to shout... Oh, wait, I don't even necessarily know that Brandon's overboard.
Yeah, you've been down there, so you basically had to burn all your move to get up to the top of the stairs.
You just heard me faintly shout, "It's just a tip."
All right, I'm going to throw a fireball at the new tentacle.
All right, roll me a... Oh, man. I'm going to say about a 30% chance of this one, because these things are fucking huge. Fandingo, pick a run of 30 numbers somewhere in 1 to 100 and tell me what that is.
10 to 40.
10 to 40. All right. Do you want to roll it, or would you like me to?
Go ahead.
I think that'd be 11 to 40.
Shut up.
I hope you get a 10.
Because of the size of this thing, if you happen to be aiming toward the top part, then it's high enough that Brandon wouldn't be hit by the fireball. So I gave you a 30% chance that you would aim low enough to hit Brandon, and you did not roll into it, so you do not hit Brandon.
Score. See, I'm a genius.
Hooray!
So it now makes a DC 16 dex save.
Made it.
All right, so it takes
18.
half of this damage.
Alrighty.
So it takes half of 42.
Nice.
Ooh.
And I haven't really been stating it, but obviously there is no secondary fire effects during a torrential downpour on the ocean.
Yeah.
Those were some fucking amazing rolls there for that damage.
Yeah,
There
holy
it
shit.
was. That was 4 6s, 2 5s, and 2 4s. Yeah.
That's a lot of that's some damage.
Really glad that didn't hit me.
That's some fucking beef.
That would have blown Brandon like against the boat and left a scorch mark.
If he wasn't already bald, that would have burned every hair off his body.
It explodes and like flings him over the boat back into the ocean on the other side.
Cue ball Thigh Master.
It has exfoliating properties.
Yeah.
All right, Fandingo, you're out of move and standard. Do you have anything you want to do with your free?
Duck. Hang on to the stair rail. I don't know. Try to not get knocked overboard.
All right, Brandon Thighmaster.
Okay, let's hit this thing back. I'm going to burn a key point for the flurry of blows. So 4 unarmed strikes in total, I think that is. So blip,
All right.
blop, biddly boo. 23, 18, 15, and a natural 20.
This is truly the most badass thing ever. A guy in the water just punching a giant tentacle.
And beating the fuck out of it.
Brandon, I would recommend that you like maybe move 5 feet as part of your move action before you start punching.
I mean, I can, I guess. Like 5 feet where?
Any direction, just strafing around the tentacle.
Sure, no
There
problem.
Perfect. All right. So Brandon Thighmaster steps up out of the water, removing himself from a situation where he'd probably have been fighting with a disadvantage.
Ooh, not with my mariner feet, I don't think.
Ah, is that when?
But if I can pop up on the water like some kind of kung fu Jesus, then let's do that.
Yeah, because your water walking ability works when you're moving. So if you start your movement and start attacking, then you are above the water.
That definitely looks cooler, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're water skiing.
All right. So you are up and you are punching 23, 18, 15, and a natural 20. The 15 does not hit. The other 3 do, and of course the nat 20 will auto crit.
9, 7, and the nat 20 is 16.
So 16 and 16.
32 damage. Hey, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Slap that tentacle.
We've done a decent amount to this thing.
Fandingo drops a fireball, giving you enough light to see by. You hop up, punch the hell out of it 4 times, and then...
Get it in a headlock, or whatever, the tentacle equivalent of that is.
All right, you have movement left. What would you like to do with it?
I'd like to stay here and continue to fight this bitch-ass tentacle.
Okie dokie. Klaus.
I would like. All right. I want to know if the other tentacle, the one that has been defeated, is there still like some of it thrashing around above the water?
No. Remember, it was exploded into viscera and charred bits, and you're all coated in its blood. Like, that thing is just fucking chum in the water. It is destroyed.
Ooh, speaking of chum in the water.
Go on.
Just wondering if we're going to draw anything else that wants to eat lots of meat.
I'm pretty tasty looking, but I don't like being referred to as chum in that regard.
Would you prefer pal or buddy?
Yeah, friend in the water will do, frankly.
All right.
All right. All right, then I'd like to observe the tentacle currently above water, and if there are any like holes or chunks gouged out. What I'd like to see with a perception check, if possible, is if it has like blood vessels wide enough for a weasel to travel through.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and say knowledge medicine. I'm going to say a medicine check for that one.
How veiny is this tentacle?
Do you want the perception check first?
Yeah, let's do perception to see how much you see, and then
right,
medicine
12.
to see what you make of it.
Perception 12, medicine 18.
All right, it's a torrential storm, so you can't really see much of the one that's undulating, but there are seared off bits from the other one that you all dodged and are decorating the top of your boat. So, with a 12, you notice one of those and look down, and an 18 medicine's enough to go, no, probably, I mean, it could burrow into the flesh maybe and like root around, but it definitely wouldn't be able to ride the blood vessel highway.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to need if I was going to do my plan, but
Stop its heart with a weasel?
no, turn into a weasel, travel down the tubes, and then once I got to its heart, turn back into old Klaus.
Oh god, it's reverse tentacle porn.
Oh, God.
Anyway, would have been cool. I'll sharpshooter it instead.
Explode. If it exploded, that would have been awesome. If it didn't explode, you're going to have a bad day, brother.
I'm inside a giant muscle that contracts with tremendous force.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, my plan's not happening. All right, I'll sharpshooter it. Just, trying to think outside the box. Always having fun.
If something was big enough, I think that would be viable, but the tentacles y'all are fighting right now are not.
Maybe if I learn a shrink spell and you turn into a weasel and I shrink you.
More complicated. Oh, man, that would be cool, though. All right, I'll save it for something bigger. Audience, wait for this. Demand it.
You've wanted the Thanos Ant-Man for so long.
All right, 22.
22 will definitely hit.
All right, 18 damage.
All right, and Klaus, seeing by the light of the beautiful fireball, and after watching Brandon just kick the hell out of it, he levels his crossbow, shoots, and somehow that one crossbow bolt does the rest of the damage, and it totters and then flops limp onto the sea.
You're welcome.
I hear this happens to lots of octopi.
Yeah, I mean, octopus traditionally only have 2 tentacles, right? So we're fine.
Brandon, roll me a perception.
I'm about to find out we are not fine. 22.
You feel like some sort of like rippling kind of pressure come from underneath, as if something like massive has just shifted way below you.
It just ejaculated.
Maybe we should have seen this coming, but punching this tentacle has made the beast angry, I think.
Hold up. It's wave time.
Uh-oh.
Everybody except... oh, wait, no, I have to roll for the direction. So, evens is left, odds is right. All right, everybody except Fandingo and Brandon. The deck save, please.
To survive the wave, you've got to become the wave. Or hide in the stairwell.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with hide.
Silas gets a 22.
Fandingo is actually susceptible, but he's on the other side of the ship.
Klaus gets a 20.
Bjorg rolls an 8. Actually, that's the plus Silas's bonus.
So that's
An
a
11.
12.
That's a 12, yeah.
No, it's an 11.
11.
Oh, yeah,
that's
3,
right.
yeah. Either way, not enough. So, everyone... so, Silas and Klaus, the wave hits and they're fine. But then it washes up to reveal that Bjorg has been knocked over.
Excellent foresight with that rope, man.
That is the risk of standing upon the edge. Oh, and you take 2 bludgeoning damage, Bjorg.
Ancestor!
Try walking on the water like the bald guy.
On the plus side, there's a rope.
It is your turn.
The downside, it's on me.
Yeah, you
All
have
right.
a rope connecting you to Brandon Thighmaster.
Oh, I can see how that might not be particularly useful here.
Bjorg, it is your turn, sir.
All right, gonna climb back out. Can I climb back onto the ship?
Give me an athletics just to make sure, but otherwise, I don't see you having much trouble with this.
Okay.
I'd give it to you for free if it weren't in the middle of a storm.
17.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bjorg hauls his Northman ass up onto the deck.
Okay. Back up on the deck. I'm gonna declare dodge.
Oh,
There's not much else for me to do right now,
understandable.
which is fine.
Silas.
I guess there's nothing here left to do except, taunt the sea for its pathetic attempt to kill us.
I remind you that you failed to kill the ocean also. Maybe, maybe don't get too cocky there.
So it's a stalemate.
Maybe I want to teach the ocean a lesson for another day.
0-0, ocean.
But the rope that while I'm taunting, the rope that Bjorg's holding, I'll grab onto it to help Brandon on board.
All right. Silas has grabbed a rope. Fandingo.
If I'm in the stairwell, I'm going to run down to the map table and tell the shitberg to speed the fuck up. Like, see if I can find a gas pedal or a throttle or, I don't know, a switch for NOS or a...
Roll me an Arcana. See if you can ascertain the workings of the shitberg enough to... Oh!
Natural 20.
Finds the instruction manual.
I see a poster of Vin Diesel. And this boat's about to get fast and furious, bitches.
Yeah, Fandingo, with a natural 20 Arcana check as you're looking things over, you recognize that like the systems that automate it all are pretty complex, and most of it is heavy enchantment wizard shit that's a little past your pay grade, but the mechanism for controlling speed, you realize, is actually a little bit built in and automated, kind of based on the terrain. And by God, with a natural 20, you're like, I think I can tweak this and make it go temporarily faster.
I can
Finds
do
it.
that.
Finds a go
We will
button.
let you do that on your next turn.
That's a good way to keep me from leaving Brandon in the waves.
Poster of Vin Diesel that informs him immediately that the ship can go fast, but not as fast as family.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
My favorite one of those stupid memes is the Jaws boat where Vin Diesel drives the car off the boat into the shark. We don't need a bigger boat. We got family. Oh, God. Brandon Thighmaster.
Speaking of muscular, bold dudes, I will... You know what? I'll get back on the boat. That seems sensible. And then I will be on guard for whatever is coming up out of the ocean next.
Well, that was entirely reasonable, which means we have to transition to Klaus now.
I don't know. I've got nothing to shoot at, right?
There's a tentacle. There's a tentacle kind of poking up out of the water that's lying there flat, but it's not like an active threat.
Yeah, I'll hold out for an active threat.
All right. Everybody who's not Fandingo, roll me a perception check.
Natural one.
Roll a d20, Brandon.
A 3.
Klaus rolls a 6.
My d20 is a 6.
Nice.
Bjorg rolls a dirty 20.
Okay. So Brandon and Silas get rain in their eyes, or the salty spray kind of comes up at once, and they are looking away. Klaus thinks he sees some sort of movement happen, but again, with a he's kind of just, it's like, crap, is there something there? And he looks and he doesn't see anything, so all right, what the hell. Bjorg,
A different kind of salty spray.
Bjorg, you happen to be looking directly at the right side tentacle, the one that has not been blown to absolute shit.
Okay.
And you're looking and you see it, and you just see it like snap as it's like yanked down below the water. As something with an injured limb might do. And there's like a bloop, and then it's just gone. It's just gone as something has pulled it back. It might have happened with the other one too, but that one was chunky.
I think that whatever we are facing is pulling back from us for the moment. They might be coming far. They might be coming back and harder.
coming harder.
I said what I said.
Oh my.
We can handle it. We have a god on our side. Well, one of us does anyway.
I think at this point 4 of us do, and 1 of us is an apostate. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I feel like Toreg owes everybody who had to travel with Silas some sort of recompense. All right, Bjork. Anything you would like to do with your turn aside from warn the others?
Yeah, can I suppose I can't declare dodge if there's nobody. There's no enemies
you
visible. I can. Okay,
You can declare just a general like staying, just fighting defensively, keeping on guard, spinning around, looking for threats.
I'm gonna declare dodge and just keep my eyes open.
Okay.
I think with this bunch, declaring paying fucking attention is reasonable.
It's a goddamn miracle, is what it is. Silas Kane.
I guess I'll declare dodge as well.
All right. Fandingo. Last round you figured it out, so this round I'm assuming you would like to activate the Nas.
Punch it.
All right. Yeah, you natural 20, so I'm just gonna you know how to do it. You have, that is a skill that you have gained in this. You can temporarily boost the shitberg from here on. All right, you activate it, and you feel the ship suddenly lurch. Everybody who's not Fandingo, roll me dex saves, and the DC this time is a 16.
Jesus fucking Christ.
22 for Silas.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 21.
Yes.
Bjorg rolls 16.
With the bonus, Klaus rolls 20.
All right, it sounds like everybody makes it. You all feel the ship suddenly jerk as it yanks forward as if propelled by some sort of magical force.
The ass end of it kind of sits down a little, the nose rides up.
The sails fully unfurl. Winds be damned. Everything unfurls. It catches the wind. You hear some creaking and snapping coming from the rigging. This is definitely going to take a toll, but you are suddenly moving at a much, much faster rate.
Well, that's what counts.
Probably take less of a toll than an octopus trying to eat our buttholes. Just saying.
And let's see. I've got to figure out what to have you roll for this. You know what? What the hell? Fandingo, roll me a survival. Feels fitting.
11.
Okay. So the ship holds together as it speeds along, and I'm going to say everybody who is not Fandingo can give me perception checks.
Silas gets a 17.
Klaus rolls a 13.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 17.
Bjorg rolls an 8.
So you all can see from the back, on the back of the boat behind you. Bjorg, you through the storm just see what looks like some sort of dark, hazy shape, but it grows more distant as you're going, so you can't really get much out of it. Klaus, you are able to make out a little bit more in the sense that you get the scale, and that, oh boy, this that's almost just like the shadows of what you're seeing. This thing is huge. Silas and Brandon, you can actually notice that the way the water kind of lowers and opens up around this thing, as if it is just consuming a huge, vast amount of water by simply moving. And you all notice that it is definitely giving chase, but you are outstripping it. And eventually, you break through the storm, and, I'll just go ahead and carry most of your perceptions over for this one, and I'll give you the basics. You break through, and you see a huge island before you, with like a long, tall peak rising, and you notice that the island is perfectly ringed by storm. You basically came through it to get here, and as you look, you realize that it's a perfect circle formed around this island. So
Found Skull Island here.
yeah, you've gotten through it, but if you want to leave, you're gonna have to go back through it.
That's easy enough.
Land!
And so, okay, as you all get through, we'll let Fandingo come back on the deck, and I want one more round of perceptions.
Why in the world would I go back on deck? There are monsters up there.
You have to tell them how to throw themselves in front of it for you.
Bjorg rolls another 8.
Klaus rolls another 13.
Silas rolls a 5.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 12.
Fandingo rolls a 17.
Okay, so with the 8 and the 5, Silas and Bjorg, you will only notice this part. The ship, comes crashing out of the storm. It skips along the clearer waters for a few bits, and then you hear snapping and cracking as chunks of the rigging and parts of the mast and everything just come tearing down. This is the price for overclocking. Is the Shipberg has taken some damage. It will not be sailing ready again for a little bit.
Good thing we got a boat guy.
It's self-repairing, isn't it?
It is, but it takes time, and you can aid it if you would like to further things along.
Okay.
But yes, eventually it will self-repair. And those of you who beat... so Klaus and Brandon, you notice the thing in the back entirely has broken off pursuit. Fandingo, you happen to leave the stairwell at just the right time to be looking back and notice that the whatever massive shape that has been following breaks off pursuit only when you all are outside the storm. So you broke through and you saw it immediately start sinking back down.
Hey guys, I saved us from that great big fucking thing. Oh, and I broke the sail. You're welcome.
I think you'll find I saved us. It stopped chasing us when I shot its other tentacle down.
I recall this very much being about me.
I think you'll all find that we're at a new island. And that means adventure!
Right, let's fuck up this island.
Let's find whatever sinners live here and teach them the error of their ways.
Let's not do that.
Teach them how to sin better? I'm in.
Well, you all can lower your rowboat and begin moving toward the island, and I think that is a fine place to end the game portion of Authors and Dragons for this evening, but fear not, as you know, we are not done. Joe's been posting to our live blog in the facebook.com Authors and Dragons group, not the page, we moved that recently, and that's also where he's been taking your questions, so if you have been leaving them elsewhere and haven't been answered, that might be the reason. And also, I don't know where you've been leaving them, so double check that. But before we get to them and my ridiculous vamping comes to an end, I've finished buying time for Rick to check the Discord over because they get to go first. Rick, take it away.
Wait, we have a Discord server? Just kidding. All right. So our friend Grizdrop asks, I have a very boring question. When is the next Shingles audio?
September 7th, 2021. That is straight from Tantor. We think the cover and hopefully pre-order link should be up soon, and we will of course share that on our Facebook and our Discord as soon as all that's up, but the release date is September 7th. So that is, mark your calendars. I know I will.
It's a very straightforward answer to a very straightforward question.
Yeah.
I have an opinion on that. Not really.
I bet it's going to be fucking amazing.
Well, speaking of fucking, our friend 11 Nushin asks, A&D Con will be my first con experience.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Is there anything I should know going in that is a classic mistake for noobs? Potentially things from the author's perspective. For example, a con goer has good intentions, and you get there and the con author immediately hates you for whatever reason.
Don't show up buck-ass naked.
Let's not go too far, Joe.
I was going to say the opposite. We have an opportunity here, Joe. You're fucking it up.
Serious answer. I won't say a mistake that people made last time, but last time it was weird. A lot of people seemed intimidated to come up and say hi to us.
Yeah.
I would just say I'm not calling that a mistake because we're a lot of us are introverts. But I'm going to tell you this: you see us at the hotel, and as long as it's not like through the window of my hotel room or something, come up and say hi, hang out.
I don't know what floor my room's on, but I'm not opposed to the window thing.
Yeah, you know that we're fairly approachable morons, so you may as well come hang out. I guess make sure you set aside bail money. For us, not necessarily for you.
Yeah, that's part of the con goer experience. Sort of in the same vein as Rick, I wouldn't call this any sort of mistake or anything, but I don't know, maybe I'm saying this to make me feel better, but if we have to cut an interaction short or dash away or something, understand that as much as we are there as authors, we're also running this con, and we're the content and the organizers and doing a lot of the back end stuff. So we love having these interactions with everybody, but oftentimes we have to just go sprinting off to do something else because the con overall is our first duty.
Yeah, and not to sound egomaniacal, but like there is the concept that there's going to be like 140 people there, and there's only so much of us to go around.
I mean, more of me.
I was thinking the opposite, though. As far as approachability, we're not fucking Neil Gaiman. This is a small con. We are relatively small-time players. We are, at least I'll speak for myself. I am thrilled for every one of you that wants to talk to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
I'm totally there with that. Here's a random one because and this might seem obvious, but probably nobody should be really hugging much at this con because of obvious, disease-related reasons. So like, don't take offense if people don't want to.
I would say ask consent before hugging at this con. It's not a bad idea in general, but that might be a heavy ask. But
I'll give you my consent.
In a post-pandemic con, don't touch anybody who doesn't want to be touched.
Yeah,
and for your own personal safety, just don't hug Bob.
But no, I just gave my consent.
And that's fair. If you want to hug people, you're all adults. We all make our own choices, but make sure any touching is consensual, even if it's a hug.
Yeah.
There's some good con advice you can take to any con.
Or sauna.
The same goes for the bail thing. You can take that to any con, too.
You can ask consent before leg humping.
Oh, well, there goes my
He's not
Thursday
wrong.
night.
That is a situation where you would definitely want to ask consent.
But above all else, we're all there to have fun for the weekend. So, something the sooner you start the fun, the better. And that thing I said about hanging out with us, especially if one of us mentions it, like, hey, we're going to be doing this. Why don't you come and hang out?
We mean it.
Yeah.
We're not
If
just
we
being
want to do something
polite.
that's just us, we know how to covertly slack.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we're doing something that's just us, it's almost certainly a production meeting that would bore the piss out of you.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how the fuck to make the computer stream on time.
Yeah, I know there was a post in the Discord talking about like joining people for breakfast, and it's like, yeah,
Fucking Rick is always looking for somebody to have breakfast
I'm
with.
insecure.
I wake up 2 hours later, and there's all these texts. Oh, Rick was up early again. I will wander in and eat at some point, but this motherfucker will be up there before the sun. So
Yeah, and everybody will be getting texts from me like, is anybody awake? I'm so lonely. All I have is these scrambled eggs as my friend.
Yeah, I think Rick's gotten too used to it, because, the rule of A&D Con is whenever you wake up, I'm up.
yeah.
We'll just have to all buy Rick egg friends.
Yeah, the rule of A&D Con is I'm probably just up way later than Rick, so I'm missing breakfast.
And I'll call this egg friend John.
We'll have to put together the early morning A&D Con breakfast crew.
That's actually tempting. I might have to try an early rise for that.
Yeah, no, I'm not making any promises.
I will not. I promise that.
I am also a crapshoot.
Well, that's just in general.
My biggest risk is that I'll get hungry and eat breakfast before the place opens.
Second breakfast, bitch.
I've done second breakfast
at
at
Con
before.
Carolinas, that wasn't an option because there was only one place to eat breakfast.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. I'm still thinking in like huge downtown terms. Although I imagine there'll be some options around there.
I don't.
Would have stepped outside, see Drew eating one of the ducks.
Rick, that's not true if breakfast is at 1 in the afternoon.
Right. See, Bob and I always have breakfast options. You guys just label it incorrectly as lunch.
All right, so moving on. Our friend Tony asks, have you ever had fans correctly predict upcoming storylines or spoilers in a series? And if they did, did you or would you change the story?
Yes, I have. No, I didn't. And I didn't tell them they were right until the book released.
Yeah. The people predicting how a book goes means that you did your foreshadowing and laid your stuff correctly. Like, you should usually be able to guess it if it is coherent and connected to the story that has come before.
The thing is, if your readers have figured out your plot, that means you have smart readers, and you want smart readers. You want that. And it's also like the other thing is, readers figuring out stuff, like as long as you're not confirming it for them, readers figuring stuff out and then realizing that they were right when they read the book can be a huge reward.
Yeah.
Like it can
Yeah,
be immensely
absolutely.
rewarding.
I've
don't
also
change it.
had readers come to me after reading a book and tell me where in the book they figured out the whodunit, and I nod and congratulate them on being really smart and all that. And then when they wander off, I typically turn to Melissa and I'm like, "Well, they're full of shit." And she's like, "Why?" And I said, "Because at that point in the book, I didn't fucking know who did it."
I'm gonna say if you guessed the twist at the end of the endless adventures of Hand and Strike pertaining to the series, and you saw that coming, then you are way ahead of me, Bella, because I sure as fuck didn't.
Yeah, I've had people come up and be like, "Yeah, I guessed this 4 books ago." I'm like, "Well, damn, you should have written the story because you're better than me."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, I've got an idea of where my series is going to end for Caverns and Creatures, but if I ever read another series, it'd be fun just to let the fans predict where it's going to go and just write that shit. And, thanks,
If I was
guys.
J.R.R. Martin, that's exactly what I'd be doing. Just hanging out in the forums going, that's a good theory. You never know. Just desperately stealing all those ideas.
I generally hear people say that they figured out the twist in Dragon Road roughly 2 pages before it happened, and whenever I hear that, I'm delighted because that's exactly what I wanted.
That's also how I
Yeah,
tell
2 pages
you-
before. Fuck that. That's not figuring out shit.
That's just reading a book.
You're there.
Yeah, I was reading a book. You're right.
I figured out who
But,
shot Mr. Burns as soon as I saw Maggie lift the gun.
Joe, that is about how I tell new writers to structure mysteries. You let your readers figure it out a couple of pages before your characters do, because then your readers feel smart and then they buy your next book.
Yeah.
I thought you was going to say, then they buy you a drink. But I guess
They might
buying
do
the
that
next
too.
book is good.
Yeah, I'm good with that too, but
Are there any questions about fans buying us drinks at the con?
Bob, it's funny you should ask that, because our friend Zach of All Trades, coincidentally enough, said, "Do you have any drinks that you would prefer con-goers buy you at the bar?" You must be like
was it
psychic
actually
or
a
something.
coincidence, or did Bob really read the question through in advance?
No, I absolutely did not.
Okay, this is what I thought.
I enjoyed having drinks bought for me last time, and yeah. Depending on how long you want me to be awake or alert, then buy those drinks.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice, everybody buying me drinks last time, but if you don't want me to throw up on a live panel, then, just be a bit more sensible about it this time, because I very nearly threw up on a live panel last time.
I think we kind of want that.
no, we're renting the microphones. We do not want that.
But YouTube traffic.
I think it was a serious writing panel, or I thought, if I just lie down on the floor now, people are going to think that's weird. But it's probably better than throwing up on Rachel. So,
Oh, if you're going to puke on Rachel, go for it. Because that has hilarious written all over it. Don't puke on any of the equipment.
For drinks, I like whiskey sours.
I usually drink hard cider because I'm old and fat and have the gout, so I can't drink beer anymore.
I'd just say buy me a beer before I get the gout, because that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
And inevitable.
it's...
I mean, I've got to get it at some point, and I want to enjoy the beer before that happens. So, yeah, if you buy me a drink, buy me a nice beer.
I'm also in Team Cider, but I just like the taste.
I like drinks that make Steve throw up on other people.
I'm just, please don't buy me shots. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I can't, like, I have to make room for that on release day. I can't do shots at a bar and then go do panels the next day.
Yeah, I can't do shots either. No.
Yeah, I'll say one. I don't like. A lot of people are like, oh, I gotta buy you beer. I don't drink beer. I actually do not like beer. So just to say that, and also a lot of it depends on the mood you catch me in. Like Vegas, I was way too wired, so people would come like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" Yeah, you can buy me a Coke or so. And I'm not trying to be insulting, but I sometimes I get in a mindset where I just can't handle drinking. But if I'm not in that mindset, something fruity will always go down well.
Oh yeah, something fruity here too. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can imagine a 14-year-old girl sneaking into the 7-Eleven and buying a 6-pack of it, that's what Rick drinks.
100%. I want to be friends. I want to be friends with that.
Don't say it.
I'm not saying.
Yeah,
it.
Rick, you're about to.
Tennessee, dude.
I retract. I retract the statements.
Ooh, boy, that was
This
a
isn't
real
fucking
like
shingles,
skid
man.
steer right before going off the cliff.
Yeah, I know that was. I saw the cliff coming, and I was just like, no, hit the brakes, motherfucker.
Can I ramp this?
God.
Probably not.
Oh.
So, what do we get on Facebook this week?
Yeah, thank
right.
God.
We should probably take one Discord one that's not about the convention or shingles.
Wait, didn't we have a Discord question asking us when the last day to book their rooms under the hotel discount rate was? Because, yes, that's coming up really soon, like Friday of this week when if you're listening to this on time, which is July 16th. So go ahead and book your rooms right now because the price goes up.
All right. Here's a good considering how I gave up on that joke before driving over a cliff. Earthskater 13 has a question. What made you give up on something? Like, at what point did you figure out that some hobby, degree, game, lifestyle, career just wasn't worth it anymore?
She was my cousin.
All right, moving on to the Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh god. I mean, I've got a somewhat humorous one I can knock out. I was interviewing for a job once, and I was very, very desperate for trying to find something, and I interviewed at a car lot, and like I sat there through like 20 minutes of talking to them about their sales practices and how their commission structure worked. And after 20 minutes of listening, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I have to go get my ID out of my car for the application. I got up, I got in my car, and I drove the fuck away as fast as I could. I had never felt so disgusted by just the corporate culture. It was bad. I'm not trying to talk about everybody who sells a car for a living. I understand that's not a ubiquitous thing, but that dealership was holy shit bad.
Friends and I went out to lunch one time, and we somehow picked the one restaurant in on the eastern seaboard that did not accept credit cards, and we didn't realize until after we ordered drinks, and we were looking like, anybody have cash? No. Waitress, could you go in the back and get us some? Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, who the fuck doesn't take? Yeah, wow.
What year was this?
We're not going back to ancient times like 1970 here. This was maybe like 5 years ago.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, like post 2012, I think it's just assumed
Post
that
2000.
This was you could tell this was probably owned by some cheap bastard who didn't want to give the credit card companies 3%. Like, they'll all pay cash. That's good enough. It's like, who the fuck carries cash?
So I went skiing. I have been skiing only once, and I realized it wasn't for me when, like, first of all, my feet were just not moving under me. I could not make the fucking skis go. I managed to limp myself to the top of. I was explicitly told, because we were cross country skiing, I was told that there were no hills. Somehow this neglected the fact that the entire back half of the loop was a hill, and I could not stop. I never figured out how to make myself stop on skis. So I did the only thing I could do, which is I would just go straight down 20 feet, And when I started to get too fast, I would slam into the snowbank. And after I slammed into the snowbank something like 20 times on the way down the hill, I was like, this is not for me. This is not my thing. I don't like this.
Yeah, I gave up on skiing when I realized I was having to use the orange mesh safety fence as my brake. So,
yeah, no.
after about the third time of peeling myself out of the fence at the bottom of the bunny slope, I'm like, I don't think this is my thing.
I forgot the original question, but I have a fun skiing story. I went on a ski trip with the school I was working at in Korea, and I didn't give a shit about skiing, but I was obligated to go on this trip, and so I just wanted to hang around and drink some beer, but I got it in my head, it's like, just because I'm not skiing, everybody else is getting their ski shit paid for, and shouldn't I get the same? And yeah, they agreed to it, so I made a profit on that trip.
Myself personally, I don't know. There's never kind of one obvious thing that makes me give up on something. It's usually just the slow grind of the universe. No, I don't have any fun stories on things I've given up on.
And that's how Steve gave up on finding a satisfying end to that question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I gave up on that pretty quickly.
Why don't we walk on over to the Facebook?
Okay. All right. Okay, so on Facebook, our friend Mark, fuck you Mark, says, if you had to be reborn as an animal, what would it be and why?
I mean, it's unquestionably either a dog or a cat, because you get all the benefits of being a human with none of the aggro. It's like, if a dog could operate a keyboard, that'd be ideal. I mean, a cat can operate a keyboard, but just never with any positive intent. I don't know, cat. Yeah, I think it'd have to be a cat.
Yeah, same. I'll be a house cat. Pampered, somebody feeds me, somebody cleans the shitter for me, and I get to just lay around and be an asshole all the time.
This is going to be a real weird one for me, all things considered, but I think I'm going to say alligator.
Okay, reasoning.
The water terrifies the hell out of me, but I think that living in the swamp as an apex predator would actually be a pretty fun life.
Okay.
Water wouldn't seem so scary when you're the scary thing in the water.
Yeah, I mean, an alligator's got very little to worry about. That's true.
Yeah, it's a relaxing life. Until it's not.
Yeah, I was going to go along the set. Like, I was thinking dog and cat, but then I'm like, something, for every good owner, there's like a lot of shitty owners out there, and I know my luck. So I'm like, screw it. Instead, I'll just be a mountain gorilla. Doesn't matter how filthy I am, If somebody gets too close to me to start taking my picture, just rip their arms off, shit like that.
Rick wants to sit wherever he goddamn well pleases.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if human is off the table, which would make sense considering the question, but reincarnation into different species is on the table, I'm gonna go with like a mayfly or something. I just gotta put up with this bullshit for a day, and then maybe I'll be a human again.
I'm gonna go with. This is pretty basic, but I think it'd be really interesting to be a crow. You get to be smart. You get to you get to shit on people, and you always have an active family life.
I sometimes look at the red kites in the valley outside my window soaring majestically, and I think, man, that would be great for about 20 minutes, and then I get bored. Then I think, and then there's fuck all else I can do. I mean, that's all they can do is soar majestically.
Yeah, that's why you don't be a bird of prey. I watched a group of crows drive a hawk into traffic.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it even less appealing, I guess. I sometimes think, it must be nice to swim like a dolphin. You think, yeah, but then what are you going to do?
And end up in a can of bumblebee tuna or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you get bored of swimming? I mean, I don't get bored of humaning because there's a lot of things you can do as a human. But I don't know.
Dolphins do a lot of fucking.
Yeah, but, so does every other animal, I guess. Dolphins jerk off? I suppose they
Mayflies don't.
Yeah, but I only got to endure that
I
shit
mean,
for
they
a
don't
day.
do it for long.
Yeah, I don't know, like, what is a massive amount of sex life for a mayfly. Yeah, I don't know. I think with most animals, that's the case. It just looks kind of like, I don't know, kind of dull.
Oh shit, man! If I know reincarnation's a thing, maybe I'll be a praying mantis and like, all right, I fuck, and then I get my head bitten off. That seems cool.
Just quick, isn't it?
That's called marriage.
Bob's reincarnation plan really focuses heavily on how his next life is gonna end.
Well, I think he's got a point. I mean, being an animal sounds boring as fuck. Just get it over with.
Yeah.
Get the sex in, and then it's like it's not going to get better than that. You may as well just get eaten.
Yeah, I'll be an ant and just find a boot, somewhere.
And just have sex with that boot.
I think that'd be I think that's maybe the mercy of being any animal. It'd be like, hey, oh wow, I'm a red kite. I'm soaring majestically. This is boring. Oh no, some crows drove me into traffic. And then like you get reincarnated again. Maybe just go through all the animals until you get bored of it, which is probably like after a month, and then you'll get murdered horribly anyway, because the natural world is a terrifying place.
Let's see here. Our friend Vicky asks, what is one place that you want to visit that you've never visited?
I feel like I've said this before, but Japan is one that I've always thought would be like a really cool, like, Tokyo, etc. It seems such an interesting trip, but also super expensive.
Vicky's house.
Wow.
Again, I've got to have to go with Bob's option again, because thinking about this, I always I'd like to say Japan, but I always have, whenever I fantasize about something, I always kind of like are tripped up by the fact that I am in the fantasy. So I'm going to go to Mexico for 2 weeks before the con because of quarantine reasons, and I'm learning Spanish, and I'm thinking, I could go to a restaurant and order something in Spanish. But I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a restaurant maybe, and then I'm just going to point at the menu, and I hope that I am understood. And, it's going to be a vaguely humiliating experience.
Just make sure you scream it louder. No, I want the burrito.
I'm speaking loudly and clearly because I'm too shy to learn your language properly. This is awful for both of us. And, so I kind of like, man, I wish I could visit there. I'm like, yeah, that'd still be me. So.
Order the cheesy gordita.
Cheesy gordita. I'll write that on my hand. I'll save everybody a lot of embarrassment.
I'll pick someone where I don't have to necessarily learn another language. Drew already picked Japan, which definitely is high on my list. But I'll say Australia. Assuming I don't run into reincarnated Drew in a swamp and get eaten. But
ooh, Australia would be fun too. That's a great one.
Yeah, Australia's usually mine, but this time I'll take New Zealand because Rick took Australia, and it's kind of like Australia.
I'm sure New Zealanders love to hear that.
I'm counting on not having physical interaction with any New Zealand fans of this podcast when they want to beat the shit out of me for saying that.
Oh, God. If there's one angry New Zealander who shows up at A&D Con.
You!
John just runs. Just bolts are like, you know what?
Shit.
Good move.
Right
Run?
now,
Respect.
No, John does not run. I'm like, okay, fucking hit me, whatever.
my, if you asked me this, just a few days ago, my answer would have been Germany, but now it's actually South Korea. I'd love to go to South Korea. It looks like a super interesting place. There's a lot of beautiful stuff to visit there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a question that we get occasionally, but I think it's good to do more than often. Our friend Daniel says, thanks for the content y'all produce, guys. Speaking of content, what are the best ways to support y'all? Should we buy books on Amazon or use Unlimited or paperback, buy merch? What are the best ways to get dollars, no offense, Steve, in your pockets?
I'll take dollars, man.
Yes.
Yes, still. It depends if you mean, us as individual authors or the podcast. Authors, I think the best thing you can do is buy the book. The second best thing you can do is review the book. The third best thing you can do is tell somebody else to read the book. For the podcast, the absolute best thing you can do is join our Patreon, because that gives us money and we put that into podcast things. The other best thing you can do, again, is pretty much the same as books. Review it, tell other people about it, get more ears on the podcast. get a tattoo of the podcast, maybe. Convince someone else to get a tattoo.
So on the part where they asked about Kindle Unlimited versus buying, etc., I think the general stance we've given a few times is, we all run our businesses differently, but if we have put our books on a platform that is available through a method like Kindle Unlimited or an Audible credit or whatever, then you should feel free to utilize that, because we made that choice. We put it into Kindle Unlimited, or we put it into the Audible credit system, and so if that works better for you, then use it. We made that choice. If it's going through a legal system, and an authentic platform, then by all means, take the sales, use the credits. We made those choices.
If you're feeling generous, do both.
You know something? I'm going to say, what are the best ways to get dollars in your pockets? Practice a little sleight of hand before A&D Con. Come up, bump into us, and then when you walk away, we reach our hand and we're like, there's $100 here. It's a Christmas miracle.
You can just hand me the money. You don't have to be all stealthy and shit. And just for the record, I pay Steve in dollars. It just shows up. PayPal does the translations. I don't have to figure that shit out.
Let's see here. Okay. So our friend Justin heard this question asked at the Janes and wanted your answers. If you were forced to cosplay as a Disney princess, which would you choose and why?
I think we've answered this one.
Have we?
A Disney princess?
I do not remember answering this one.
I'm with Steve. I think we've answered this.
Yeah, I went on a tangent about fucking the beast.
I'm going to go with Tiana just to be problematic.
Well, you didn't say that last time, so I guess it was worth answering this again. I mean, when I say worth...
I want to be the fucking alien queen. Disney's bought everything, so they now own the Alien franchise, so the alien queen is a Disney princess. I want to be the fucking alien queen.
The princess thing hamstrings me. If we could stretch it slightly, I feel like Maleficent would be a good one for me, because there's just not a lot of 6'4" options. Yeah, like that commanding presence is not a feature in a lot of the princess options.
I mean, we'll cut you off at the knees and you can be Elsa.
I think I'm blonde or happy enough for that.
Sure as fuck won't be if we cut your legs off at the knees.
Elsa's a miserable bitch. I mean, I would choose Elsa. You don't have to really interact with anyone if you don't want to, and you have the powers of an angry god.
Oh, if we get the powers, then yeah, I'll take Elsa to literally create life and reshape the world around me.
Yeah, do you want to pay tribute to me, or do you want eternal winter? It's fun. Pay your fucking taxes.
We'd like to, get less. We'd like to pay less tariffs to your country. Oh, would you also like to ever use your ships again?
That's great, but I keep the eternal cold at bay, and stop everyone from starving to death. So pay up. Everyone do what you fucking told, and we can all be happy. You see, it'd be maybe the only way to truly enforce communism.
Oh, you brought an army to try and usurp me. Well, why don't you talk to my immortal snowmen monsters, of which I can create an infinite amount and will never die?
Not even that, Drew. I just go straight to, an army marches on its stomach, and if all your crops die, no army. Also, no children. Let's just keep things smooth, shall we?
You guys are all mad with power. My needs are simple.
Matt, this is entirely reasonable, Rick.
I would be Belle, and then I would just wait for all the petals to fall off the flower so the beast drops dead and I inherit his castle. And his sentient toilet that I would make scream.
I chose the fucking alien queen and was not even the second darkest place this answer went. Jesus
You people
Christ.
don't seem to realize that I'm offering a utopia here. We can all just get along. If I'm the world-ending nuke on the throne.
Listen, there's just one rule, and it's that I rule.
Everyone gets along, or,
I'm just deliberately being an asshole.
We're back to being reincarnated as house cats.
You're still the darkest option here, Bevin. I don't mean that as a terrible pun.
Yeah. Well, that is a terrible pun.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. Just as soon as I said it, I thought, oh no, that's a
no.
terrible pun.
Quick,
Steering away from that cliff.
Hurry.
I didn't even know there was a cliff, and I'm falling down it.
Shingles.
This is like a scene from Watchmen here. We're whispering to Joe, "Save us," and Joe's like, "No."
I had an idea, but then there was just horror.
All right, why don't we wrap it up with one more question, Joe? What do we got?
Here we go. Our friend Matt asks, "What is a favorite word that you don't get to use in your writing?" Because we all know that your favorite words are, and you often get to use. Fuck off, Matt. Yeah, what is a favorite word that you don't often get to use in your writing?
Prestidigitation.
Sacapunta.
What the fucking fuck?
What?
What is that?
It's a Spanish word. It means pencil sharpener, but it sounds dirty.
What is it again?
Sacapunta.
Remember that for when you go to Mexico, Steve. Order a sacapunta on the rocks.
You've just made dinner even more awkward.
See if anybody slaps you.
Hello, my little sacapunta.
Yeah, that's gonna get me slapped.
Yeah, that's an ass kicking right now.
It's just the tongue. Doesn't matter what the word means.
All right, that's mine.
There's a word that I always get to use to describe books, but that I never get to use in books, which is verisimilitude. I like that one.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a reason to use dimorphism in one of my books, and it just oddly enough doesn't come up too often.
I really like the word fuckery, but it's hard to work into books as much as I'd like.
Oh, I manage that one a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Quincy Harker uses fuck like a comma, so...
Yeah.
Not fuck. Fuckery.
Yeah. Fuckery. Yeah, that's a slow Tuesday.
Yeah.
Omphaloskepsis is another fun one. I haven't figured out a way to use that.
Well, if you figure out how to use it, you got to figure out how to spell it.
Means contemplation of the navel.
I like to say the word oubliette. I'm not sure how I feel about writing it. Also, it's never come up. Neither in conversation nor in my books. This might be the first time I've said oubliette out loud.
And now it's 2-1.
Since it's a Magic the Gathering card that was reprinted last year, it's come up in my conversation a lot, actually.
I think I managed to fit tchotchkes into one book.
Is that like Joni's boy?
Joni loves tchotchkes.
I was waiting for that one.
Beat you to the punch.
All right, I think that's everybody, and that will do it for this week on Authors and Dragons. We will be back next week with a side quest, and then we will be back again in 2 weeks with one more Authors and Dragons before A&D Con 2021 Nashville. Ooh. All right. Well, we'll see you here for all of it, and then we'll see you in Nashville for A&D Con. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Sacapunta.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
How veiny is this tentacle?